Hi guys, like I promised, this is a video I'm gonna explain the story of my dog, Rocco. So wait, he's here and I'm taking the room of the FMA to talk about his story because his story and the FMA are all related. So I must say that all of my pets come from shelters. So my dog Rupert comes from the local shelter. Leia and Karma come from the FMA like him, and Lois comes from the cat lady from across the street. These being said, I'm saying cat lady as a Swiftie, so it's not a bad thing. Okay, so Rocco's story is a pretty interesting one. He was found with his mom and his sister by some people that fostered him on behalf of the FMA. So the FMA is a friend of Mazarrón Animals. I will put the links and everything around on post production because it's a rescue that works also with cats, like I said, but mostly with dogs. And they foster them, they rehome them, they find them um, owners, and that's what they do. They work hand to hand with the shelter from the area. They Most of the time they're called by either breeders or um, hunters when they don't want to keep their dogs anymore, instead of sacrificing them or abandoning them, which happens here in Spain so much, too much. So their work is to give them, better than the kennels, give them a foster home where they can learn how to be with humans and with other dogs and other animals. And then they try to find them forever homes. But I will talk about that after I tell you the story about Rocco. So, my best friend was cabin crew, and after the pandemic, he wanted to have a dog because he found that me having mine, uh, it was fun. So I said, why don't you adopt one from the I can't find the word. It's not charity. From the rescue where my partner works with, well, volunteers. And while you're working as a cabin crew, I can take care of your dog. I foster your dog or I babysit your dog. So that was the idea. So he found the dog he wanted, which was this one. He liked him. His mom, Rocco's mom, and sister had already been adopted. So he thought it would be the great choice because it was not a big dog, and it would be nice for a starter because he never had an animal before, a pet before. So we dog proof his house because most of the rescues and some shelters here in Spain that do that is they have a home check before leaving the animal with the new owner, just to make sure that the animal is going to be safe. And then they also give a 1 week or 2 week window where you can withdraw your adoption from either sides. Sometimes the dog or the cat don't settle well, so they need to come back. In the case of Rocco, everything was good except my friend was discovered he was allergic to his hair. So he thought about giving the dog back to the FMA. And I said, listen, instead of giving him back, why don't I foster him properly? He will live with me. You will be the owner. I will be in charge of him, except vaccines and food. So that's how it went for a couple of years, I was in charge of keeping him, but I was not the owner. And at the beginning, he would come every day, take care of the dog, and then with work catching up, it would come to once every 2 days and once a week, and so on, until there was a time when I was like, listen, why don't you give me the ownership of the dog? Because he lives with me, I take care of him, and I'm kind of tired of having to harass you for money for the food or the vaccines and everything. So that's how he ended up being my dog. So now I have five. So three cats, sorry, and two dogs. And because he gets so well with mine, we decided it was the best thing to do, just to keep them both together. So he never got abandoned properly. He was never on his own. He's been with me basically since he got adopted officially, because my friend would come to mine and stay with me the full day and then take the dog back with him at night. And that for that week until he got sick and, well, allergic. And then since then, he's been with me, except when I go on holidays where he stays with my mom. And he's a bit fussy now because he doesn't like to be kept on his own. And his daddy, which is my partner, because he's his daddy, is on the next room. So that's a story that ends well, but not all of them have that chance. And as you can see here on the back, there's a lot of dogs that are looking for homes, that are looking for fosters. And one of the things that this rescue likes to do is fostering dogs until they find a home. Sometimes those homes are not in Spain, they are in the UK, in Germany. There was a time they used to be in the US also. Um, and another story that I'm going to shorten a bit is my mom has a second dog that was a breeder's dog, a Pomeranian that was too big, and her babies were too big. So they decided to get rid of her. And instead of, what they do with dogs when they're not wanted, they called the rescue, the FMA, and they gave her the dog. Now she's called Nieve. She's a white Pomeranian. She's lovely. She's big, but she's lovely. And so that's something that happens. It's not the only case I know. I will put a picture of um, a Malamute puppy that the breeders here, not very far away, got rid of because she had a heart condition. So she was not suitable for being sold as a purebred dog. Now she's been rehomed. She's been treated for her heart condition, which was not that bad, but bad enough for not being suitable as a sold dog. Okay, so something happened with the camera. It fell off. I'm working with a new kind of selfie stick. So sorry. I was talking about the Malamute. So she got fostered until they figured out what was wrong with her. And then she found a home, and I've seen pictures and videos of her lately, and she's absolutely lovely. She's huge, of course, but she's having a lot of fun, and she's really loved. So until not 10 years ago or something like that, I would say, oh, it's fine if you buy a dog because it's a pure breed or you want something specific. Actually, nowadays, I would say, listen, you have so many dogs and cats, mostly cats, that are unwanted, that are just living their lives in kennels, or if they're lucky enough with fosters that need a home. That I know that people say when your pet dies, it's hurtful and it's painful. and you don't want to go through that again. In my experience, in my opinion, when my cat Jeannie died after Taylor Swift's concert, a couple of days later, everybody said, "Don't get another cat because you're in pain, you're crying, whatever, you're very sad." And I said, "Listen, I have room. I have now a vacancy, an extra room for some cat that needs a home and that needs love and care." And that's how I got Karma. I got it through this rescue, and he's really happy. And I will try another day to show him to you. So going back to this charity, this rescue, they rehome dogs, they foster dogs, and they also do something that they call the 100. Um, oh shit! I can't remember the name. So every Friday they do like a lottery, where you buy a number, you pay for the same number each month, and every Friday evening there is a lottery where they pick up a number out of, not a bag because it's on a program that picks up a number, and the winner gets the 100 club. That's how it's called. The 100 club. So there's 100 numbers, and you can get up to 100 euros if you play. There's people playing from the UK, I know. And there's still a couple of numbers available if anybody's interested. And I think it's a nice way um, to give money for the animals. They also have markets where they sell secondhand stuff. We give a lot of things for them, and I know that there are lots of rescues where you are, which is something. If you can volunteer with them, if you can help them, if you can share the animals that are published online, because that's a lot of work, because and a lot of help, because sometimes you may not want to foster, you may not have room for another animal in your house, but maybe one of your friends who can do it and has room, and that animal may find a forever home like that. So that's how they work. They are on Facebook. They are located here in the area next to Cartagena called Mazarrón. But you never know. Maybe you come on holidays or you have friends that are around that may want to participate or to help or to, you never know. So that's why we always say share, 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 like and share. We do that with the videos. Us as you know, I'm not gonna say YouTubers, but the people that record these films, these videos. We always ask for share, like, share, subscribe. Sharing is important because sometimes you don't need it, but maybe somebody that looks it on your profile does. So that's what happens with all those animals. Here there is a vacancy. That's a dog that got adopted this week. So that's a good thing. We'll put the information if you want to have a look, if you want to share it. It's on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, but you still want to collaborate with them, you never know. So that's the story about Rocco. He comes from them. My previous cats also came from other rescues before I knew them. Now that basically my partner volunteers with them. So he brings dogs from one shelter to the other from kennels, from fosters, to the transports that are going to take them to Germany or to the UK. I've been there and I've seen how the dogs go to their forever homes, and I've cried a lot. So I understand people that say they can't foster because they may feel sad afterwards. But sometimes you don't need to foster, you just need to volunteer in however way you can, walking dogs. And this is not only for this rescue, this can be done in where you live and where you're located. And it could be a good deed for the year that's about to start in a couple of days. So that's my story about Rocco. The story about Rupert is basically the same. I got him from a shelter. He had to be spayed because one thing that's very important for animals that you have is for them to be spayed so they don't run off, they don't mark territories. If they're cats, you know how annoying they get when they're in heat, and you don't get a lot of babies and kittens and puppies that you don't know what to do afterwards. And so they don't have to end up in shelters or abandoned or worse. I've seen worse stories I'm not going to talk about because I don't feel like it. I don't want to talk about it. So I hope you like the video about Rocco, and he's somewhere over there barking, asking for attention. So, like I said before, give me a like. If you need any information, just drop a DM or comment on the video, or however you can reach me. Just ask for more information if you want to. And if not, share and subscribe. I know we're annoying with this, and up until a couple of days I was like, oh, what's that about? Subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe and like, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers.